So here's a 1 week update of working with an OpenClaw agent. And I'll just take you through, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. How do I go about working with Vada? So yesterday, I told her that every morning we need a rundown of all of the items that are on our Kanban board, which Vada made for me. Right now, we're working a lot on tone and style configuration for content production. And this is the rundown of what's happening today from Vada.
Hey Lena, happy Monday. Here's your rundown. 3 things today. Number 1, the article. Teaching an AI to think like me publishes tomorrow, Tuesday the 25th. That's your top priority. Get the draft tight. We can do a final pass together tonight.
So you can kind of see, she takes the items that I've talked about as being high priority and tells me to get stuff done. Here, I asked her how old she is. So I configured Vada on February 16th, so it's been exactly a week. And I have to say that it really did change how I work. Mostly what I'm doing now is sending voice notes for things that I'm working on. Something that I started doing yesterday is configuring Vada to be a video editing agent. So I have this interview series that I filmed 6 months ago, of which I've edited about half of it. And half of it is just still sitting around. And I wanted to, I was using Descript. However, it is still very manual. And I just as an experiment wanted to see what AI could do. And I spent 2 hours last night throwing together like a rough... basically the plumbing, the pipeline for being able to edit videos through talking on voice note with my agent Vada over Signal. So the first, you can see there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of iterations here. The first one that she made was,
status quo, but we might gain
absolutely horrendous.
It's the keyword.
A concept
like
where in front of the number, but
like the cuts don't make sense. You can hear the audio is absolutely fudged. And then we're kind of going back and forth, and I'm like, okay, this is how video editing works. This is usually where people make a cut and stuff like that. And then we realized that we don't need to reinvent the wheel, and we can probably just get her to do research herself on what is good video editing, especially for videos that are meant to be posted on YouTube. And so that's one of these voice notes. That's the last assignment that she got here. So she's saying, okay, let me start the research on how to do this. So basically, a lot of what I'm doing now is training her. And why I think this is important is because I think the future is trained agents. We'll all have different agents for different tasks that are experts on these tasks. And the differentiator of these agents is really how you configure them. So in the end, that's your own... being able to train an agent on your own tone and style that nobody else has. So that's kind of the last piece of training an agent on a task is you can give like the conventional kind of like, okay, let's take a video editing class, like this is how it's done. But then how would I make the cut? And then like that's a very fine decision that depends on my preference, my style, my way of creating stories and narratives. And that I haven't in terms of the video editing part of the skill, I haven't been able to get to, but also it was just 2 hours last night. So let's see how this goes. So this is a bit of an experiment, but basically what I'm doing here is I am, where's my GitHub? I'm saving all of Vada's skills that I'm teaching her into a a GitHub repository, and she has all of these skills here so that, like, if there's a skill that other people can use, I can actually just share that skill. It's kind of like plug and play. How I'm thinking about this is that Vada is sort of like my guinea pig. I'm throwing all these skills at her. I'm also grabbing skills online, and downloading skills and then just putting them in her GitHub. So like it's like plugging skills into her brain. And then I can always create more agents with, for example, I can create a video editing agent using the skill that I'm training her on and just like plugging that into the video editing agent, and then really honing in on that one skill, and that'll be one agent. But that's for the future. For now, it's all going into Vada, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that there's a lot more that I'm doing together with her, but that's kind of, in terms of week 1 and where it's at, this is what we're doing. The other thing that she does for me now every day is she goes and searches for tweets that I can reply to, and I've trained her. So I have a rating system where I rate the tweets that I get from her to reply to on a scale of relevance for me. So actually we have 2. There are tweets to quote tweet for myself, and then tweets to comment on. So that's one other thing that we're doing together. So yeah, that's kind of, those are the main things, and I'm excited to train her on more skills, and I'm excited to really refine those skills based on what I like, really my preferences and my ideas of what is beautiful, what is a great piece of writing, what is a great video. So yeah, I am curious about other people who are working with their OpenClaw agents, how it's going, what is there for me to learn, what others are learning from me. So feel free to comment and hit me up if you have any questions. It's a fun ride.